So in this video, I'm going to be taking all of the guesswork out of finding a compliment-getting fragrance for you. You don't really care about niche products smelling completely different, smelling very unique, and having that ultra-high quality. If all you care about is smelling good to the people around you, getting compliments, and also not having to spend an arm and a leg like you do for niche products, this video is going to be for you. Today, I'm going to be going over 10 mass-pleasing, highly complimented colognes that you should purchase immediately if that's what you're after. So if you're searching through the tens of thousands of fragrances out there trying to find some good mass-pleasing ones to get you compliments, whether you're going to school, to work, out to parties, or whatever, this video is going to be your one-stop shop to grab what you need and not have to worry about it too much longer. Like I said, I've got 10 of them here for you today, all designers, all affordable, and I tried to comb through my collection and pick some that are going to be different, not your run-of-the-mill compliment getters like Dylan Blue, Dior Sauvage, and the ones that get talked about the most. Tried to pick out some things that are going to be a little bit different for you just to make it more interesting, but these are still going to work very well, trust me. If you want to grab any of these fragrances that we talk about today, I will link them all down below to discounters so you don't have to pay full retail for them. Let's go ahead and crack right into this one. First up, we have Diesel Spirit of the Brave Intense. Cypress, apple, and vanilla are some of the main notes here. Now, yes, the bottle is tacky. I know that. And really, diesel fragrances don't get that much love. People don't like them that much. And I see why in some instances. They do have some releases which maybe aren't all that great. And some may argue that they are a bit expensive for what they are. But I do think they have some good ones, this one being one of them. This bottle is kind of going up against the Invictus bottles and even the 1 million bottles, just how tacky they are. So leave a comment down below. What do you think is more tacky, the Spirit of the Brave bottle or like the Invictus bottles? Both of them could probably win. Regardless of the bottle, all that's important is the scent. And this one actually smells pretty good. Now you get that vanilla and that apple, very popular combination. But what makes this one stand out a bit more is the cypress in here. It gives it a more masculine edge. It gives it somewhat of a traditional smell. You know, kind of ties back to some of the more traditional men's fragrances, which do use a nice kind of woody cypress. There's also a nice spicy top note from this one as well. Really, I think this smells good. Again, diesel fragrances kind of get swept under the rug, and yeah, sure, some of them do deserve to get swept under the rug, but they do have some good ones. This one right here is one of them, so I wanted to share it with you guys. It's a great compliment getter. It still has that type of DNA to be mass pleasing, and this one will work really well. You can get it discounted, and it's not too expensive. I believe these run anywhere from, I don't know, around $40 or so it's not too bad. Up next, we have Aqua Dejo Absolute. Sea notes, lavender, and amberwood are some of the main notes in this fragrance, and this was one that I was kind of against at first. I had a sample of it back when it first came out, and I just wasn't too impressed. And while it still doesn't blow my mind now, I do like it more than I did when I first smelled it, and I do accept it more. It kind of has a bit of an Invictus Aqua type of feel, a little bit, just in that it is bubblegummy, leaning from that amberwood that's prominent here, and so it does give you that type of thing. But it also has its own twist, and really it does kind of separate itself from a lot of the other kind of bubblegummy aquatic fragrances out there that we're used to. Kind of fits into the crowd, but at the same time, it does do its own thing to some degree. But what this one is good at is getting compliments. This one I just recently picked up a full bottle of, and my girlfriend loves this one. She really enjoys it. When she smelled it, she was like, wow, what is that? Because it's something that she hadn't smelled yet. And so you know that this type of thing is really just made to be mass appealing, and it is an Aqua Dejo flanker after all, and that whole line is really geared towards being pleasing to the people around you. I mean, these are going to be marketed to just your average guy who doesn't care about collecting and going deep and getting into niche stuff. They just want to smell good. This type of thing will work really well. It's a good performer. It's great for summertime, but can be used all year round. It is a little bit more expensive. You could still get it for well under $100 though on discounters, and I do think it is worth a pickup here. We'll go ahead and tie back to a cheapie. We have Mont Blanc Legend Night. Vanilla, apple, and lavender are some of the main notes in here, and that's kind of a trend you're going to see. Vanilla vanilla and apple. It's popular for sure. So this one's sweet, it's seductive. It's really a nighttime version of Legend, although it does separate itself from the original Legend quite a bit. Out of all of the fragrances in the Legend line, this one smells the least like it, which is good. You know, Legend itself can be a bit boring. It's all about that musk and is very cologne-y smelling, you know, kind of just smells like a mall fragrance, but this one does have a bit more sweetness to back it up, and this one is good for an evening. It is good for fall and winter time, but you could really wear it all year round if you're going to be in climate-controlled environments. This one will work great. Like I mentioned, it's very affordable. $20, $30 on discounters. You don't have to pay a lot for this one, and it is a pretty good pickup if you want to get compliments and, you know, smell a little bit different, but also smell kind of similar to a lot of other stuff out there, if that makes sense. One thing you have to keep in mind when it comes to choosing a fragrance to get compliments and to, you know, get positive feedback is you want to focus on other aspects of yourself than just your scent. You want to make sure that you're taking care of the basics like your skincare. You know, the skin on your face is what you're going to have for your entire life, and if it starts to get damaged, it can be very hard, if not impossible, and or very expensive to repair those damages later on. Your fragrance can always be changed. You can always save up and buy another one or a different one or get into something more expensive, but again, your face is something that you really want to take care of right off the bat as much as you can. That's why we teamed up again with Tiege Hanley to be the sponsor of today's video. They make an amazing line of skincare products for men. That is a monthly subscription service. So you sign up and each month you get all of the basics delivered right to your doorstep with an information card telling you exactly what to use and how much of it. I've been using their products for several months now, and I've noticed a huge change in my skin and my complexion, and people around me have noticed the same thing. And this is kind of one of those things that's going to carry over into your everyday lifestyle, right? If you start taking care of your skin, it starts to clear up and look better and more healthy. When you apply that favorite fragrance of yours that you're going to find in this video and you go out into the world, the confidence that you're going to be carrying yourself with is going to be unparalleled, and that itself is going to help you get that positive feedback that you're looking for. I personally recommend starting with their level 1 system. This system covers all of the basics. It's very easy. It comes with a daily face wash, a 2 times per week exfoliating scrub, a morning moisturizer with SPF 20, and an evening moisturizer. You get all of this for only $25 a month. There's no hidden fees, no shipping, $25 a month. Very straightforward here. Like I mentioned a second ago, one of my favorite parts about Tiege Hanley is that they include an instruction card in every single box that you get. This makes it truly uncomplicated, right? That's their slogan, uncomplicated skincare for men. And for me, that's important because I don't want to be having to do all this research on different products, trying to figure out how to use them, when to use them, how much of it. Tiege makes it super simple. That card comes in every box. You follow exactly what it says every single day, and it's simple. And because they're sponsoring today's video, they're hooking you guys up with a special offer for a limited time. Just click the first link in the description, and you'll get a free toiletry bag with your first box of Tiege Hanley. So again, thank you to Tiege for sponsoring this video. Let's get back into these fragrances, which are going to kill it for you. Up next, we have Armani Code Absolute Gold. This one has orange, tonka bean, iris, benzoin is some of the prominent notes in here. So if you're a fan of the original Absolute, you're going to like this one. Really, this one just adds that iris and makes it a bit more sweet and creamy, even more so than the original Absolute. It's really a nice twist on that scent, but it still does smell like the original. So it's a flanker of a flanker, which kind of gets a bit confusing, but it does smell very nice. The iris gives it a somewhat slightly powdery floral touch. You still get that nice orange tonka bean. The benzoin gives off a bit of a kind of dusty vanilla note in here, so it's not straight up vanilla like an Absolute. It's a bit more of a benzoin that's laid back, a bit more dusty smelling, less kind of rich and creamy like the vanilla in the original Absolute. Just a nice different take, different twist. This one could be maybe a bit better for a daytime, whereas Absolute would be great for an evening out, because while it is a bit more creamy in some aspects, it's also a bit more fresh in other aspects due to the iris in here. So it's kind of a different balance. You know, it takes some things and just kind of twists them around. What this one does do very well is get compliments, get positive feedback, just like the original Absolute. And really, you could put anything from this line, Colognes, Profumo, the original, even still, A-List, they all work great. But I wanted to feature this one because it's not talked about as much, and it does work really well. And it is on discounters now, I believe, so you can grab it without having to pay retail. Up next, we have another cheap fragrance. This one is Original Penguin Premium Blend. This one has mint, driftwood, and aquatic notes is some of the main notes. So about $20, and you get this nice hefty bottle, nice frosted glass. The bottle, the presentation looks great. The scent is very nice. It's musky, it's light, it's refreshing, and ultimately very fun and summery smelling and uplifting. Kind of smells like a vacation scent. That driftwood really does come through, giving it a kind of a woody, soft muskiness, and it just kind of has this tropical, clean, fresh smell about it. It's almost like there's a lavender in here. I think there is lavender, and that kind of adds to the freshness as well, along with that nice green mint pop in the opening. This one smells great, very uplifting, very refreshing, and very cheap. This is another one that's impossible to dislike. I mean, if you wear this one out, pretty much everyone's going to think that you smell nice and clean and fresh. You can't really offend anyone with this one. Up next, we have Bulgaria Aqua Marine. This one has seaweed, orange, and watery notes is some of the main notes in here. So this is a pretty popular one. This is one that a lot of you guys have probably at least heard of, if not most of you have tried or own at this point. But it is a really good one, and I think it does get somewhat overshadowed by Atlantique, which is one of my personal favorites, and also Aqua Amara. At one point before it got discontinued or kind of hard to find sometimes, it was getting hyped everywhere. I think you could still get Aqua Amara in the 50 ml bottles, but 100 mls are getting harder to find, if not impossible. So I don't know what's going on there, but that one very much hyped, and that kind of took over the whole line, and everything else got buried, and this one included, although it is still known about for sure. But I like this one. It has this like fresh poolside fun smell to it, kind of like Penguin Premium Blend. It just smells like a vacation scent. This one smells like sitting by the pool, sitting by the water. Has a clean type of smell, florals, a lot of seaweed in here. It is truly an aquatic, salty, marine, ocean scent. You know, you got to like the smell of water, the smell of the ocean, and kind of being transported to the beach in order to like this one. And I'm sure a lot of you guys do resonate with that. Again, this one is very mass pleasing. It's very clean and fresh, and it's hard to dislike. This one I think goes for about $40 on discounters. Nice pickup for summertime. Up next, we have a new release as of this year. We have Invictus Victory. Vanilla, tonka bean, and lavender are some of the main notes in this one, and this has become one of my favorite flankers from the entire Invictus line. Really, this one slots in right behind Invictus Aqua for me in terms of my favorites. You know, Invictus Aqua is one that's hard to beat, and these are completely different. This is by far my favorite kind of sweeter flanker from the line, and Invictus Aqua, of course, is going to be the freshest one that there is from the line. But this one had really impressed me, and the more I wear it, the more I smell it, the more I fall in love with it more. Very solid release, and honestly, pretty impressive here from Paco Rabanne. They've really stepped it up with some of their releases, with some of their flankers, like 1 Million Privé. That was a complete hit out of the park. Very good fragrance, and I think this one might not be as good as 1 Million Privé, at least not for me yet. Maybe I will like it to that point, but it is very good, and it just recently became available at retailers. Like Macy's does have this one now, so you will be paying full retail, unfortunately, but I think it's worth a pickup. I will link it down below as well. Very, very nice, solid release from Paco Rabanne, and this one is, of course, going to be mass pleasing. It's an Invictus flanker. It's from a leading designer brand. You do the math, I mean, that just adds up, and of course it's going to be something that will get you positive feedback. Running down to the end, we have Perry Ellis Bold Red. This one has finger lime, green leaves, and musk as some of the main notes. So it's going to be nice and green, musky, citrusy, and a bit woody. And that's about it. There's not too much going on. It's not very unique or different by any means, but it's just kind of one of those get the job done fragrances. You know, it's not going to blow you away, but it does smell nice, and it does separate itself a bit from other citrus, musky fragrances out there. So that is a plus about this one. Still, nothing too crazy good, nothing that's going to blow your mind, but it is very clean, very fresh, very likable for most everyone, not only people around you, but also you, the person wearing this. It's blind buy safe, like basically all of these in this video, and it will do the intended purpose very well. It's also affordable, like most Perry Ellis fragrances, and also the bottle on this one is good. It's got some heft to it, and I like the frosted glass look. Not bad. Up next, we have Abercrombie & Fitch Authentic Night, Tonka Bean, Vanilla, and Leather are some of the main notes in here. Now, this one is going to be another familiar scent, but again, you know, it's familiar with a different twist ever so slightly. And of course, every fragrance is going to be that way unless it's just a straight up clone or knockoff, which we do get often. But this one isn't really a straight up clone or knockoff of anything for the most part. It kind of gets compared to Ultra Male, and it is very sweet, but also it does have a differentiation from Ultra Male, so it's not like a one-to-one clone here. It has some similarities to Ultra Male and some other sweet scents, but there are differences as well. But this type of thing coming from Abercrombie & Fitch is about what you would expect. You know, it maybe is borrowing some ideas, but it's also putting a nice twist on it, and ultimately is creating something that's going to be very likable for the masses. And last up, we have Tommy Hilfiger Impact Citruses, Woods, and Musk. Are going to be the main notes in here. It's kind of a vague note breakdown, but really that's all you need to know. This one's actually very good, and it's also quite a bit different than everything else out there. I don't really compare this to anything else. Sure, it is a citrus woody scent, and there are a lot of them out there, but it doesn't smell like any other one fragrance. You know, it has its own thing here, and I really like how this one is. Very nice release, very cool. I love the bottle as well. It smells so nice, kind of powdery as well. This one does also have the built-in travel atomizer, which goes right into the cap, which I think is pretty cool. Kind of gimmicky, some may think, but I do think it is neat, and it will come in handy for some of you, I'm sure. This is going to end the video here. Tommy Hilfiger Impact, nice, refreshing, clean scent that's going to be mass appealing. Again, from Tommy Hilfiger, that's what you would expect. So guys, that's going to do it for me. That was 10 mass-pleasing fragrances that you should just buy immediately without even thinking about it. If you're after the sole purpose of smelling good to people around you, look no further. These are going to have you covered, and it couldn't get easier than this. And remember, if you want to start taking care of your skin, to use the link down below to Tiege Hanley, sign up. It's only $25 a month, and that's going to keep your skin looking and feeling healthy. And also, if you want to grab any of the fragrances that we talk about today, they will be linked down below. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.